Sparks Orthopedic and Sports Medicine here with the Glencoe Yellow Jackets, and I'm going to let these gentlemen introduce themselves at this time, name and year.
Hunter Hanners, 2022.
Austin Cochran, 2022.
I hadn't had you guys on yet this year, so let's take it back. Let's take it back to summer workouts and things, because y'all didn't play a week 0 game. Last was the first game y'all played, correct? Y'all didn't play Jamboree.
We played JV Pennington and
Sardis.
JV Pennington and Sardis. Let's take it back to summer workouts, and then we'll pick it up from there. So take us back over this summer. You guys got Coach Wadley in. Was he there over the summer as well?
Yes, sir.
How was those workouts? Because I know he's a heavy weight room guy. How much did that change from last year to this year?
They were a lot tougher. We got a lot stronger from it. You could just see it all over. The guys just lifting more weights in the weight room. It was better overall, though.
No doubt.
I noticed everybody's gotten stronger and bigger. We've been taking protein. We got these proteins coming in. Ever since we got those, everybody's been getting a lot bigger.
So actually helping with nutrition now, they're actually providing protein shakes for you guys.
Yes, sir.
That's a game changer right there, buddy. If you're not fueling them, your muscles up, then they're not really going to grow. You just keep breaking them down over and over. All right. So now, when fall practice started, what does that look like for you guys so far? I know getting ready for football season this year obviously was different than last year with COVID protocols and social distancing, and you can only have so many guys in the weight room and all that. So how much difference does that look from the fall practice point of view?
Like,
But how different is it not having to do all those protocols and things? How much easier is it?
A lot better. A lot easier. You can have more guys in the weight room. You don't have to be worried about 6 foot, spread apart. Just going back to normalcy.
a lot more, we had a lot more time to do more things too.
Did y'all ever get to have a jamboree last year during the COVID, or how did that go last year? Because I know y'all just said y'all did have a jamboree this year, correct? Against.
I think we did play Sardis
Yeah, we
last
played
year.
Sardis.
Y'all did. You see, y'all did get one in.
Yeah.
Some teams didn't, so I wasn't sure who did, who didn't.
So take us back to Jamboree games. Those were played on week 0 or that pre-week 0 Jamboree week?
Week 0.
It was week 0. How did those games go?
They went all right. So I think how they scored.
We played JV Pennington first, and they come out there with a lot of energy. Then we went to Sardis,
Yeah, that's right.
and then we realized we need more energy going out there. Because how we stretched and everything got really quiet, and then we went out there for Sardis.
They ended up being a 0-0 game for the first quarter.
Well, I'll tell you what. That heat ain't no joke either. That heat will equalize your butt in a heartbeat, man. Man, if you can make it through this Alabama heat.
I was at a ball game Thursday night, y'all, and I needed another change of clothes by halftime. Also, well, I can imagine what you guys go through, running and conditioning with all the pads and everything that you do.
I wanted to just carry a gallon jug of water at school now.
Yeah.
I drank that throughout the day.
Oh, yeah. Because when you guys get it, I'm sure y'all have athletic PE, last period, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all start practice then, or do y'all lift?
We lift last period and then start practice right after
Right
that.
after school. So I'm sure by the time you're already pouring sweat by the time you start practice.
Position-wise, you guys, do you play on both sides of the ball, offense
Yes,
and defense?
Yes, sir.
What position do y'all play?
I play a wing and outside linebacker.
I play guard and linebacker.
So man, you guys don't come off the field then.
No, sir.
How many seniors you guys have this year, Glencoe?
I think like 12.
It's a
Like
good
12,
I don't know
12
the
seniors?
exact number.
Yeah.
I think Coach Oliver said they had like 12, 13 seniors
Okay,
that
nice.
day.
That's the first time in a while they've
Yeah,
had many seniors.
yeah. Well, I know what you guys have been young in the past few years. You also got some great young guys coming up. So last week, tell us about last week's game and some of the things you took away from that.
Last week's game, we just got to come together, trust what Coach Wadley tells us to do as a defensive coordinator, and just everybody did the right assignments, do your jobs. We let number 28 score 28 points that game out of 35. So, just doing a better job at covering him and just doing our assignments better.
When Coach brings a little bit of energy, doesn't he? It's his first year with you guys,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
He's a dude.
He's a dude, man. I know him. He brings some energy. I promise you that.
Y'all ever seen his highlights?
I have not, but I've seen a couple of his interviews. He's big.
I've seen how big he was too.
He used to knock people unconscious.
He's a scary man.
Somebody let him do it, he do it, brother.
Yeah,
He
no
get you.
doubt. He'll tell you he's retired now. So what was y'all's takeaways though from the game personally? I mean, what did you self-evaluate you guys, like you guys' performance?
I mean, my performance, I feel like I could have done better. Just first snap of the ball, just stepping up, just getting to the ball better, and being more aggressive, most importantly.
No doubt.
Being more aggressive going downhill. And they never really ran up the middle last week. So,
It's hitting you on the edge.
yeah, those running sweeps jet sweeps like the whole game.
Oh, must have seen something.
We got to do a better job at making adjustments within the game, not just going out after halftime.
Right, that's right. There's no doubt about that. Now this week, man, y'all playing Weaver. Weaver's got a new attitude, a new coach, Coach Ashley. He's been phenomenal. I mean, they had a rough first outing as well, but they've had a week off to prepare for you guys. What have you guys seen from Weaver on film?
I mean, they'll pass a little bit. They got some big guys on the O-line. I don't want to say too much about them. They seem to be talking about them, but I mean, they're not real physical. I mean, I think we're a lot more physical than them. Yeah, that's my take on it.
We have good potential to win.
Yeah.
We just take it to them and be aggressive.
I've seen them play twice, a spring game and then a 7-on-7. They got some really athletic, tall receivers.
Yeah.
One of them's about 6'5". You can go get it. So I'm sure you guys have seen that on film. What were you going to say, buddy?
Oh, nothing. I was just, I think I was thinking out loud.
Now, they got y'all at Weaver, correct?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
You guys personally like road games better, or do you guys like playing at home?
I like playing
Definitely
home.
home.
Do you really?
The atmosphere feels much better.
I actually like road games, man.
Oh, you know,
I feel more tight knit.
Me, I'm from across the road at Hokes Bluff, and I can tell you right now, Glencoe, their community, they're so supportive. Man, they'll pack out the house. Student section's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know the home games, man, they're pretty hot.
We do have a good student section.
But they also travel well. You know, Weaver's not that far away. You guys will have a good crowd.
Now I'm gonna tell you something. Buddy's 4 years old. He still goes and paints y'all stop signs with a HB game week. That's him that does that.
I live in this. I was wondering.
I'm still living the trade, yeah. I ain't got caught yet. I mean,
Hey, Buddy's got his Letterman jacket on.
that's
I was wondering
Y'all
who's
should
doing
see
that,
my
buddy.
Letterman's jacket. I'm about a medium. Oh Lord.
I'll be looking out for
I'm
him.
about to wear it.
Right.
I'll wear it.
Exactly.
When y'all play Hokes Bluff, I want to come to that game. I'll wear my Letterman's jacket on field.
That's awesome.
So you painted the stop sign by my apartment last year.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, the Glencoe Police Department is listening to this.
Right.
It's not Buddy Ford.
It's not on camera. They can
But that stop sign was on the Gadsden side.
Yes.
So
But hey, man, good luck to you guys. Appreciate you guys coming on, and looking forward to seeing you guys later on in the year. And do what you do, man. Listen to coach. Y'all got some really good coaches over there. Keep grinding, man. Keep your heads up. 13 seniors, y'all still got your whole season in front of you. So let's keep grinding.
All right, everybody. We're here with the Hokes Bluff Eagles, and I'm gonna let these guys introduce themselves. Start right here.
I'm Ian Stinson.
I'm Austin Vickery.
Jordan Bradley.
What are your positions, guys?
I'm D tackle and right tackle on offense.
I'm linebacker.
Quarterback.
Quarterback. Yeah, you got quarterback hair going on there. I like it. Got the frosted tips. So, all right, guys, that was one of the few games last Thursday. We were all there. You know, it was a tough game for you guys, but you know what? Anytime you play Southside, sometimes it can go either way. You know, what do you guys take away from last week's game that you can build on this week moving forward? Some positives.
More like mental mistakes and stuff. Be there more as a team.
Mhm.
We're just fighting each other on the team instead of novice.
Yeah, I think we just need to work more as a unit, you know, and I think we figured out a lot what we need to work on. Offensive line was major, you know, I mean, we had a lot of mess ups, but I think
I noticed they did get a little bit of pressure on you, Jordan.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, it's football, dude. I mean,
It's part of the game.
but right,
Yeah.
exactly. And I mean, I don't blame our offensive line. I mean, we all had our mistakes. So
100%.
I think it was definitely a team thing. I mean, we got to build. I mean, we're kind of at 0-1. That's almost rock bottom. But you can only go one way up, or you can only go one way. It's up. So I mean, we're looking forward to Pleasant Valley.
Anytime you a game like that, that's what you do. You gotta take the positives from it, some of the negatives, and figure out how you can move forward. And then this week coming up against Pleasant Valley, that's an away game. Is that correct?
It's just
Have you guys been watching film yet on Pleasant Valley?
Yes, sir. He showed us some film, so I've watched a little bit.
Yeah, I've watched a little bit.
What do you guys think you're gonna be able to do or need to do in order to come out there with a win?
Well, I mean, they're definitely mostly a run-heavy offense. So, I mean, our defense is our key right now, most definitely. I feel like we're a really good defensive team, and I think that's how we're really gonna, not necessarily score, but rally most likely. And then our offense is there. We're working on it, and I think we'll be prepared by Pleasant Valley. But I mean, we're definitely working on it right now. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, if we can stop the run against Pleasant Valley, I think we'll definitely have a big chance to come up big.
our offensive line has really stepped up this Monday practice and showed a lot better results.
You guys, all three of you are seniors too, also, right?
Yes, sir.
And y'all have got a pretty good senior dominant class too. I mean, there's how many of you are returning starters? Most all of you have had a lot of playing time.
starting.
Yes, sir. Me,
Oh, it's a good amount this year.
Yeah.
So.
it was good for you.
Let me ask you this: you got a couple of young guys, a couple of freshmen playing. What, as seniors, after a game like last week, what is your message to those young guys moving forward?
I mean, take a kick in the butt. I mean, we did for sure. I mean, but it's just how. I mean, it's how you respond.
Right.
That's what we're working on right now this week. Is how we're going to respond. So, I think, it's not a message to them right now, but coming seasons, they're going to realize, hey, freshman year, Southside came out there and they whipped our butt, but we stepped it up the next week of practice and we didn't get our heads down. So, I mean, that's what they need to take from it.
I like
At
what
least.
you taught me.
True quarterback.
I'm telling you, I like it.
Looks like Joe Kane.
Huh? He does.
You know who Joe Kane is? I got a question for you guys. Last week, as soon as the horn sounded and Coach Ryle got in the locker room, what was his message?
We weren't there physically as the team and stuff. That we really needed to step everything up. More mental mistakes were happening than physical. We did good on our defense, but our offense wasn't there as a team.
Yeah, I agree with you. Our offense, it's got a lot of work, but we're young. I mean, we are. We've got some freshmen starting in some positions, but we just gotta learn.
I mean, wasn't many words after the final buzzer, but Friday came around and he had some stuff to say, and I completely agree with him most of the time. I mean, it's just picking it up, man. We just, we're picking it up though. So
The thing about it is, you guys play. Yeah, I ain't even gotta say arguably. You guys play in the toughest region in the state, 3A, Region 5. I think what it is, correct? 3A Region 5 is the toughest region in the state. But I don't know if you guys look at other scores around the state or in your region, but there's been some crazy things happening.
Oh, yeah.
Apache's 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who would ever? When Scott Martin lost 2 games, you know what I'm saying? Sachs nearly lost week 1 to Sylvania. I mean, it's just been some insane stuff happening. I say that to say this is going to be a crazy year in y'all's region. This ain't going to be you got the top tier dogs and then everybody else get out of the way. I think it's going to be some mix up. So you got everything in front of you to play for. I mean, I think you guys agree with that.
But
And hey, look, y'all just played a 6A team that by some's picked to win the region, not just by local media outlets. I'm talking about guys out of Birmingham and stuff that's picked these guys to win the region. So it ain't nothing to hang your head out. And if you look at that game, especially when y'all got that stop down there in the end zone, Will ran it back. I mean, that game's neck and neck for a long time.
Right.
And then you had a few bad breaks, like, unfortunately, the punt drop and things like that. I mean, just some things happen. The ball that melts your way. But, I mean, moving forward, you guys
Those are correctable mistakes.
Mhm.
That's the good thing.
Very correct.
It's not a talent thing. It's something that you can correct.
Right.
And you guys are only going to get better every game. I know your coaches. Some of them, one of them's ever not with. So I promise you, he's going to correct those things. I know you guys, your mentality. All you seniors. I know a lot of you guys. So I think that you're going to get these things corrected, and you're going to turn out a good season, guys. And
Yes, sir.
I look forward to it. So
I guess that's going to wrap us up, guys. Good luck to you guys moving forward.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, we have 2 extremely special guests in this time from the Ashville Bulldogs. Now, I'm going to let these 2 gentlemen introduce themselves starting at this time.
I'm Nick Wilson, assistant coach for the Ashville Bulldogs. And I'm Kevin Moore. We hadn't figured out what I am yet. So
The mayor of Asheville.
I don't know
Are you
yet.
running for the mayor, actually?
No, hey, we got a mayor, man.
You got a good one.
If we get a Hooters out there, we'll be all right.
Hey, we would go host from there if you did.
Let's not get that off the chest, but anyway.
Yeah. Hey, all right, so guys, I implanted myself with you guys week one from 1 p.m. all the way through.
We had fun.
Now we know what happened. He wasn't there.
Yeah.
It's my fault. That was an amazing time. Great game, great walk through everything. Last week, when I seen that score come around, I seen the first half score when I was battling back and forth, and then the lightning delay hit. And then I seen the final, and I was like, something's happened during this game. But we'll let Nick take us back to last Friday night and how that game all transpired.
So, we going into that, practice usually paints a pretty good picture of what's going to happen on a Friday night. And hindsight's 20/20, but looking at practice, there are a lot of things that could have been done differently. But ultimately, what it came down to was focus. And our kids, Shay said it in the locker room, Coach Monroe, we should have done a better job at getting our kids focused for Southeastern. We knew Southeastern was going to come out there. They had some offensive weapons that they were going to use. You look at kids like Six. I mean, that joker, great athlete, well coached by Coach Bird at Southeastern. So all credit to those guys at Southeastern. They were ready. They were there. We go back and forth in terms of offense. Our defense struggled a little bit, and then we started to adjust. Lightning delay coming out of halftime, going into the second half, gave Southeastern some time to recover, reevaluate what they're doing on offense, and we came out flat. That's the bottom line. And a lot of things happen. When you look at the onside kicks that were made. And then when you look at a missed field goal by us, the momentum shifts really hurt us, and we failed to recover ultimately. And it was a mental game from there on out. They had the upper hand. They kept pushing, and ultimately we failed to do what we needed to do on both sides of the ball in all phases of the game. And that's what ended up with that score. And, that is a good lesson for us. We talked about it in our staff meeting. We'd rather go through something like that at this point in the season against a non-region opponent, nothing against Southeastern, than get into region play and take a lick like that in that way. So we've reevaluated how we need to approach Good Hope coming up this next week, and we're going to move forward and do our thing.
Now, here's another thing that I thought was interesting is you guys were imposing your will offensively. And because they were short-manned on that roster.
Yes.
And I think that lightning delay definitely gave them time to rest, get some juices in them, let them, get their legs back under them. I think that definitely come into play.
No doubt. And, Coach Bird, he's a great strategist, great leader. He's done a really good job at Southeastern in his time leading that program. But when you look at those numbers, we've got 53 on our roster right now, 52, 53 on our roster, and against a 25-man squad, you would think that you'd be able to field a little better performance when it came to a consistent effort throughout the game. But that lightning delay gave them a chance for recovery, and that was, that hurt us. And when you come out flat against somebody that's got time to recover, that's got something to fight for, it hurt us more than realized that it could have. And so we didn't prepare our kids for that coming out of that lightning delay.
No doubt. Now, Kevin, from your standpoint, I remember your text you sent out. It's pretty funny because Coach Thompson.
I don't remember what I sent you.
Coach Thompson's speech during the walk.
Oh, yeah. I remember that, yeah.
He said, you're getting one of two grades this week. You're either getting a nail or a hammer.
Yep.
And Kevin sent that back to me. He said, looked like we were the nail this week.
Yeah.
Kevin,
Yeah.
What'd you see out there, brother?
Well, Proverbs 15 says, soft words takes away chaos, and harsh words stirs up anger. Well, guess what I'm about to do? Not the anger part. But anyway, like Coach Wilson said, we had opportunities during the first half. We got down 14-0 real quick. And then we cut it back to 14-13. And I thought, hey, we're finally, and at halftime, they win it's 22-19. I thought, hey, we're in a dogfight, but hey, we're still battling back. And I thought if we could just get a couple of stops on defense and get the lead, I think physically we'd be able to wear them down, and that was starting to happen in the third quarter. And not taking away from Southeastern, because like it's, they do a great job coaching. They're fundamentally sound. Once the lightning delay happened, like you said, they had time to kind of catch up and get rest. But it just seemed to kind of fall apart mentally right there in the last 5 minutes of the third quarter and the rest of the game. And like I said, I feel like we could have, if we'd have made a stop or two on defense, we could have probably gotten back in it. But the season is still there as far as the region, winning season, all this stuff, all our other goals are still there. So, we're still in the process of trying to turn everything around, and some of these kids haven't had the experienced success like we did last year. So I'm sure that was probably kind of like deer in the headlights effect for them Friday night. So, but they had a good practice this morning. I think that kind of woke them up a little bit.
No doubt. What was coach's message to the team after that game?
That ultimately the failure for our team to adapt mentally and physically to what they were doing to us was on him and was on us as a coaching staff. When the kids win, they win. When the team loses, it's us. And so because they're only as good as we prepare them to be. And we, as coaches, as a coaching staff, and he placed a lot of the blame on himself, but that's Coach Monroe. He's going to do that. He knows when he's got to carry the load, and he's so good at playing the mental game when he needs to, and trying to reinforce positive energy into the program. At times when he knows that he needs to, where a lot of coaches would probably take the opportunity to chew you out. But he was actually very calm. He was upset. We could all tell he was upset. But he took that moment to reinforce into the kids. One of the biggest things that he always reinforces is that he loves them. We love them as a coaching staff, and we do. I can honestly say that about all our assistant coaches and Coach Monroe. We all do really, really, really love our kids. And so he made sure that they knew that despite the outcome of the game, that they were still loved, but that we have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of things mentally that we've got to get better at, not just physically, but mentally. There's a lot of adversity that is going to hit you over the course of life as an adult, and a lot of that you can simulate over the course of a football season. And so how you react to that adversity is probably how you're going to react when you get older. And so we've got to do a better job at not only making our kids better at overcoming adversity during football, but also for later in life when whatever happens. We've all lived it, when whatever happens to them in life. Absolutely. And so Coach Monroe took that opportunity to basically tell the kids that we as a coaching staff need to do a better job to get them prepared, but that they've got to put the work in. We've got to focus. We have got to have a good week of practice. We practiced this morning. We practice Monday mornings, and I felt like with our game plan against Good Hope, we had a really good practice. So it's I feel like the rebound from Friday night has been really, 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 really good so far. So far, yeah.
So coming off that loss, you jumped right into region play. This is where it counts this week. Start this week.
Where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah. Good Hope's a very good team. I think they went 2 or 3 rounds in the playoffs last year. What have you guys seen from them so far in your preparations this week?
The quarterback, man, he's an athlete. He is an athlete, and they've got a good guy at that running back position. As an offensive guy, looking at their defense, they do a lot of interesting things on defense, and we've got to prepare. We've got to we've got to stick to what we do and get better at what we do. Offensively, defensively, we've got to make sure that we've got the right personnel at the right spot, in the right places. We've got to maximize what we have, because we have a lot of good talent at Ashville. We really, really do. And we've got to make sure that we match up our talent with their talent in the right spots, in the right places, at the right time, so that we can maximize the opportunity to win that game, because that's an important game. First region game, it's on the road, it sets the tone for region play. Good Hope's a great team, and these other region teams, you know, you look at Etowah and Aniata, which is who we have next. We've got Aniata at home next week, next week, and then we've got Etowah at home the week after. They're going to be looking at this game to set the tone, right? They're going to be, okay, how is Asheville how are they going to do in region play this year?
Yeah.
And Good Hope is a really good measuring stick. So we've got to, as a coach and staff, make sure, again, like I said about Southeastern, that our kids are prepared mentally, but also that the scheme is sound enough to make sure that we have an answer for every single thing that they can do.
Kevin?
Well, just like Coach said, like this game, I thought the Southeastern game was important because this is going to show how far we have come as far as, because last year, this is the first of the 5, I won't say revenge, but a chance to reverse the losses from last year, the 5 this teams that beat us. Obviously, that didn't happen. They took it to us pretty good, so I'm hoping that if we can somehow manage to get the next 3 or 2 of the next 3, everybody will forget about this game here. So it's just kind of when the other team has got half the numbers that you have, come in there and just run all over you and double the score on you. Coach Monroe talked about doubling the score a couple weeks ago. Well, that happened to us this week. So, and I did the post game show with him, and that's probably the most upset I've ever seen him. He was telling me that within his 10 years of coaching, that's the worst performance he's ever seen. But like I said, if they have a good week of practice, hopefully we'll see some different results on Friday night.
That's right. Well, guys, good luck to you guys as always. We love having you guys in, so you're always welcome here. Thanks for stopping by, man. Both of you guys. The guys couldn't make it today because of the weather, but we got the 2 gangsters in here, and that's all good.
Well, we appreciate you guys. Y'all do a lot more for high school sports than y'all know. We appreciate it.
Man, we appreciate you. Thank you. All right, next up on the Sparks Orthopedic Hotline, we have Mr. Tommy Wood of the Central Clay County Volunteers. How's that sound?
Hey, it works for us, man. We're good.
I'm getting better at it, man.
That's right.
Tommy, man, talk to me last week. Y'all had a pretty crucial game. You went and took on Benjamin Russell, which was it was at Benjamin Russell, and you guys pulled out a 35-26 victory over those guys, who always has a talented team, who's always going to play hard, but they have a little bit more motivation knowing that Coach had been there at one point. Talk about that game in general, man, and what it looked like.
Well, I tell you what, to me, it was one of the more physical games in this series. I think that there were some big hits on both sides of the football, and Benjamin Russell, to me, they're going to be a team to reckon with the next couple of years because they have a lot of skilled players that are underclassmen. They got a sophomore quarterback named Gabe Benton at 6'3", and he can drop the ball on a dime, and he looked really good. Some good speedy receivers that are both juniors, and the best years are ahead for Benjamin Russell. This guy, even the series back at 4-4, but they hit some big plays early. Clay Central had kick 6 on the first play of the game, and you thought, here we go, and we're fixing to go off and rolling. But they responded 3 plays later with about a 65-yard touchdown pass and took the lead. And actually, Benjamin Russell was up 20-14 at the half. And Clay Central came back and outscored them 21-6 in the second half to claim that win. But man, it was a big night, and it took all 4 quarters to win that game.
I heard Elijah McNeil had a really good game. Can you talk about his performance?
Yeah, he did. I mean, he had some great individual rushes. He had one long touchdown run. I think the play of the game was, we were sitting in the stands, and it's 4th down at about 12, and they line him over on the near side, and had man-to-man coverage as a receiver, and the safety shifted over, and he went up in double coverage and just climbed the ladder, caught it between them, and fell into the end zone. And man, it was incredible. Really a game changer for us, and just a huge play for the Vols. And again, he's just each and every week it just seems like he comes up with a play that leaves you shaking your head when you get home.
That dude is he's special, man. I remember watching him at JSU's camp over the summer, and he just looks different than the guys out there. I mean, he looks the part of a D1 athlete, like a major Power 5 guy.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's developed into such an incredible athlete. And what's funny is I was his T-ball coach from the time he was 4 years old. T-ball, we put him in center field, and if the ball got to him, he would run down the base runner anywhere he wanted to chase him down and tackle him. So I just my advantage for years in baseball, and he's done the football field, basketball court. I mean, he's just an all-around great athlete. He's been fun to watch grow up, and he's like one of my own kids.
No doubt, man. That you guys. That's one thing I like about you guys, man. It's a tight knit group from top to bottom. It's really a family out there in an environment and tradition like no other. I know the school hasn't been there that long, but football in that area has been unbelievable for years and years.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, it's been the I guess the bell cow of the community. I mean, that's kind of what the community was built around, and focused on. And you look at the state of Alabama, that's where we've always been. But in a community like ours, there's not a whole lot going on. So that's pretty much what you focus on. And we're one of those that during the fall, that's where we're at, and during the off season, we're talking about what we're going to do the next fall, and some of the players that are coming back and evaluating things like that. So it's a 12-month thing, and just having a hand in watching these kids develop over the years, and just watching them grow up and become good young men. That's what it's all about. And the neat part about it now is whether they're from Limeville or Ashland or Hollins or Millville or Mella Valley or wherever they're from, they're all our kids. And so it's been kind of a neat thing to see over the years. We've adopted a lot more that we didn't know about, for years ago. But now that they're all under the same roof, they're all our kids every Friday night.
Dude, that's awesome. And man, I want to ask you about this. I know you guys have Sylacauga coming up, who actually got a victory due to COVID last week versus Lincoln. That's very unfortunate for Lincoln because they had a huge victory. I mean, kind of an upset victory. People thought of Southside week 1 and had a very good defensive performance. And then they go and I guess they had gotten COVID scare and had to forfeit. But the team that you guys are playing, Sylacauga has their only other performance was against Leeds, and they didn't look that great. They got beat pretty soundly in that game. But what do you know about Sylacauga at this point?
Well, I know that they've got a running back, and I think he's the Hunter Renfro of high school football. I think he's been playing for about 8 years, and I mean, he is an exciting football player, and I know that if he gets on the outside, we can say our goodbyes, but this guy can really play, and of course, a new coach this year, and that's something that you just don't know how that, exactly what they're going to bring to the table, because I know you only got one game of film on them, so, they didn't play last week, and who knows, you make your big improvements from week 1 to 2, so look for a better Sylacauga team coming up that'll come to our place Friday night, and, it's funny because when you ask Clay Central, you name your top rivals, well, you're going to name Benjamin Russell, which is this week, and then Sylacauga, which is this coming week, and then you got Hanley that'll wind up the regular season. I think those are probably our 3 biggest rivalries, and so you got 2 of them back to back, so you got to make sure that the team is back and refocused, and get ready for a Sylacauga team. And like I said, don't know a whole lot about them just because they've not been on the field that much, but I'm sure they'll bring a good football team and an incredible crowd as well. They support their team down there, so I expect them to bring a lot of folks.
Man, you guys do it like no other. Before I let you go, just for a minute, talk about that intro that you guys have there, because Reggie and I got to experience for the first time last year, and I know you had a big hand in getting that thing done, especially the opening party, you guys intro. But how special it is to have, obviously what you guys do, the band and all, but then to see the players come out of that locker room and before they hit the field, they all take a knee in a huddle there, and they all get prayed over once again. I guess that's by your team chaplain. That guy did a great job. It's phenomenal.
Actually, the volunteer moms actually organize that. That's the moms that organize the pregame prayer, and they invite different people to come and lead the team in that prayer. But when they come out, they have that. And and one thing about doing the PA for Central, we've tried to find ways to more incorporate the band and the cheerleaders, and just make it a student experience like nowhere else. So, trying to create things that those guys will remember. So, a couple of years ago, I actually, had watched I was looking at, some of the best intros in football, and to me, the point that the LSU team has about, it's Saturday night in Bayou Country, and
yes,
and it's all about LSU and the steel, and so I began to research that, and actually talked to the guy that wrote the poem. His name is Dan Bourne, or Bourne, I guess it's Cajun Bourne.
There you go.
And so I actually began to try to find the guy, and and I was just going to talk to him about it and the impact. And it turned out he is now the PA announcer for LSU after writing that so many years ago. And so he and I kind of struck up a friendship, and I asked him, I said, I'd really like to get a voice for our poem that we wrote. So he and I kind of collaborated together, wrote the poem together, and just turned it over, and I let him read it. And it's been a big hit for the last couple of years. So we play that, and it just talks about, Clay Central and coming together in tough times. And honestly, that's no more true than what we've endured here in Clay County in the last couple of weeks. We've had, it would be actually Clay Yates, it would be his niece, Coach Josh Giddens. It's his wife's niece or whatever was 14 months old, and she passed away last week.
Oh my God!
The whole community has been rocked by it, and it's been a tough struggle because she battled until the very end. It's been tough, and so when you talk about communities coming together, and I made sure that the folks at Alex City knew that, we were not changing our colors, but Riley Smith was the little girl's name, and her favorite color was purple. So this past weekend, Friday was Purple Day here in Clay County, and just about everybody wore purple. And when we went to the games, everybody had it on, and from the police that escort the teams in, they had shirts that said Riley Strong, and cheerleaders wore the Riley Strong T-shirts, and it was just a phenomenal weekend to be from this area and be from Clay County, and it was so touching for all of us. And so to me, when I was thinking about this next Friday night and playing that poem where it says we come together when times are tough, that's no more true than what we're enduring right now. But it's a great place to live. We love our football, we love our kids, and we kind of just all band together when times do get tough.
Man, Tommy, that's special, man. I didn't know that, man. I wasn't aware of that. Having to run our page and social media and stuff, and then my own page. Sometimes I don't get to see news feeds and things, so I didn't know that, man. That truly touched me hearing that, dude. But it not surprised one bit that you guys come together, because that's what y'all do better than just about most communities I've seen in the state. You guys are up there in the top 1%, I promise you.
Well, it's a great place to be, and like I said, throughout the weekend, her funeral was Friday, and actually they lined the streets and the highways, the route with balloons and things like that. People just out as the procession came through, and again, it was a tough Friday for a lot of us, and because the thing about here is, like in a lot of smaller communities, when one hurts, we're all affected because we're all connected, and that's the thing about it. So where that connection is, you're going to be feeling the effects of it, but yeah, it's been a special weekend for all of us to to realize how blessed we are to live where we live, and to it's one of those where if you go through a hard time, you got a lot of people in your corner.
Man, Tommy, I'll be praying for you guys, man. That's special, man. I hate to hear any loss like that, man. That's bad, but man, that's really awesome to hear how the community has come together on that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. It's it's going to be a young lady that touched a lot of lives in a short period of time, and and like I said, that same group will be here this coming Friday night, and we'll all band together again, and hopefully come out on top, taking on Sylacauga, and just get behind our guys. It's just a big family here.
Brother, I appreciate your time on a Sunday evening, because I know you're a busy man, and looking forward to hearing back from you, and definitely looking forward to getting down there at some point this season.
All right, man. Look forward to seeing you, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
All right, man.
Right.
All right, we are here at Sparks Orthopedic and Sports Medicine for our weekly Monday night preview show, and I'm going to let these gentlemen introduce themselves at this time, starting with Coach, and then he can pass it to his right and then back to his left.
I'm Justin Bowen. I'm the defensive coordinator at Southside High School.
Todd Rich, middle linebacker.
Gage Neesmith, QB.
Coach, let's start with you. Your defense is off to a hot start at this point of the season. When you got in here and got your hands on these guys over the summer, did you see the potential there then? And just take us back, since we haven't had you on the show in a good while, take us back from that, when you first laid eyes on these guys and your first messages you sent to these guys and talked to them face to face, to what we're seeing the product on the field now.
I think, early on, initially, when I first started talking to the guys, I wanted to create a mentality that they thought that, that they could stop anybody. I wanted them to have that confidence that no matter who we stepped out on the field against, whether, it be the best of those to the worst of those, whoever, that they could stop and they could play with anybody. And I talked about before when we had our interview or whatever, there were 4 things that I kind of talk to them all the time about, and that's toughness, effort, attitude, mentality. And so each week we kind of, hone in on one of those like parts, and we talk about each of those, and we talk about those really each day, just about how if you can, build on those 4 key principles, that you got a chance to be really good, and not just offense, defense, any sport. So I think the biggest thing for them early on was just trying to get them to get that confidence. You know what I mean? Not in just me, but their self. I think that was the biggest thing. And, I talked about some of the teams that I've been a part of before, the state championship teams and stuff like that. And I told them that what set those teams apart from the other teams that I've been a part of was the fact that they thought they were the best when they stepped on the field every single time. And I feel like when our defense steps out there, I really do feel like that they think that they're going to stop everybody. We've only played 2 weeks. We still got a long way to go. But I've been really proud of, where we're at so far with our coaches on defense and with our players. I just feel like every day they come to practice, they're out there. They want to be the best player at their position. They're trying to get better at something every single day. And then, another thing we talk about is just, play the next play. Whether it's a good play or a bad one, it doesn't matter. The next one, you got to lock back in. And we played Friday or Thursday night. Every single play I was screaming, lock in on your key, lock in on your. It didn't matter if we got a sack or they, got 4 or 5 yards or whatever. We were, I was screaming at him, hey, lock in on your key, lock in on your key. And if you do that every play, you got a chance to be successful, because it's just one play at a time. So
Now, the first 2 weeks, you haven't given up over 175 yards and blew us in that stat. And also, you've created, I know, 2 turnovers the first week, and I know Sharp had 2 back-to-back by himself. Did you have another one? How many did you have?
Yeah, we had 3.
So you created 5 turnovers.
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah. The stat is a little off. We gave up a few more than that against Lincoln.
Gotcha.
They had a right at 200, maybe a little bit less than that, off some big plays and stuff. But I think Hokes Bluff was right over 100 yards total.
Man.
That's good for the type of power, football that they run. But one of the things, we have game goals that we talk about each week. We talk about them, throughout the week. We talk about them on Friday before we go play. All the kids come and meet in my room after school. And one of those is trying to get 2 turnovers per game. That's what we want to get. And that's something I kind of brought on from Oxford that they had there. And it's been pretty good, the last couple of weeks that we've gotten 5 in 2 weeks. The first week we had 2 picks. Taylor Carr had both of those. And then last week we had 2 fumble recoveries, and we had an interception. And those are the 5 that we got. We've also caused another about 6 fumbles. We just hadn't got them. They've been on the ground, and we just hadn't got on top of them. So we're getting the ball out of there. We just got to get it on a few more times. It'll probably be a lot higher than it is.
Do you hit the helmets like Coach Cochran did?
I don't do that. And when he sees this, he's going to laugh, because when he would do that, I would walk out of the locker room, because I can't be doing that.
You don't want none of this smoke, buddy.
No, it would make me sick.
I want to start with Gage. Let's talk about this offense. I know Coach, he and I talked on the phone the other night till I think it's like 11:30 or so. He was frustrated. He was taking the blame. He said, you're going to see a different product. And I told him, I said, hey, man, this is the week, you can't come in there, with your head down. The coach said, I know, man, we got to get Cody Roberts going early. We got to get Gage something comfortable going early. And it looks like you guys did that. And the game that you had and the game that Cody had was amazing. Can you take us back to last Friday night?
Yeah, he set us up for a great game plan going into it, because they ran a bunch of cover 3.
That's right.
And the way we designed the plays and stuff was to go to Cody, like deep, and some were short, some weren't, but it ended up working out. Cody 191 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns, and then with only 6 receptions.
And Joker's averaging about 30-something yards a catch. I mean, that's pretty remarkable.
He was.
But did the game from week 1 to week 2 slow down to you a little bit?
It did. The first game, I had to get control of the pace of the game and stuff. It it was definitely a lot different than last year because I mean I played safety last year, but being quarterback, start quarterback, sophomore, it's a whole other game.
When that ball snaps at 900 miles an hour, things going on every which way. I played QB a little bit, and I was like, I didn't want that smoke. Mr. Rich, we posted a picture of you after week 1. I don't know if you've heard this. I talked to your dad about it. The picture, Justin and I talked about your performance. We posted a picture that reached 63,000 people in 2 days, man. You had 17 tackles that first week, and you followed that up this week. You got 30 in 2 games now, correct?
He's got 29.
29.
Yeah.
We're shortchanging this guy.
Yeah.
Coach, just throw him one on the stat sheet.
No, he's got 29.
Coach, throw this guy another tackle, man. Talk about the game. You ain't like you're a senior yourself. You're still a youngster yourself. Talk about the game since the time you started this season to now and what you've been seeing out there.
Yes, it was definitely, like the first game, it was definitely hard. Like, it wasn't hard, but it was just different. Like last year I got to play 1 game. I got 2, and then it was just like, I don't know, I really can't explain it.
But you was on scout team last year? I'm sure.
Well, I was second team, and then.
Let's see, you got to tackle Carnell in practice. I'm sure that was.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. But yeah, Maddox went down last year for a game, and I went in, and unfortunately I ended up breaking my leg.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, the first game I got, I don't know, it was just different.
Yeah. Did it seem faster to you?
It was definitely faster, but
it must be kind of slow to you. I mean, to have 17 tackles in your debut.
Yeah.
He was faster.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You know, Titan, you know, I talk about him. I've talked about him to a lot of people, but, you know, he does such a good job at managing the whole defense. You know, I've told multiple people that he's a 10th grader and he knows my whole defense, and I've been here for a few months like the back of his hand.
It's crazy.
He can call everything from the sideline. He looks at me. Most of the time, he looks at me when he's supposed to on the sideline. And he looks at me, and I give him hand signals that only he knows. He's the only one that knows them, him and maybe Jacob Davis. And he can get the whole defense lined up every single play. Me and him, you know, we've watched film individually, just me and him together, and I'll say, hey, you know, if they're in this certain formation, this is what I want you to do. If they're in this formation, this is how I want you to get the front lined up. And when you can do that, it's like having a coach on the field, and that's what helps us be so successful. Is it's like I'm out there putting those guys, you know, where they really need to be in each formation to give us the best chance to be successful, and he does a really good job of that.
That's awesome. Now, I mean, these 2 guys essentially got 3 more years.
Yeah.
The rest of this year, which is minus 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Then what, is that not insane?
That's what I was here thinking. I'm like, you got 2 sophomores sitting here with you, and you got one leading your offense and the other one leading your defense.
That's right.
Is that a lot of pressure for both of you guys?
For sure. It's it is, but I mean, my dad's prepared me my whole life to be a leader on the offense, and Coach Holcomb's preparing me for the next level and stuff. And if what God wants me to do, if that's His plan, so yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, you know. Wait, what was the question again? My bad.
You know, being a sophomore, you're looked to as a leader on the
Oh,
defense side.
yes, sir. It's definitely a big task. I feel like I guess did an okay job at it, you know, being young.
he puts a lot of pressure on himself. Like if he misses a call, like if we're supposed to be lined up 53 and he puts them in 43, which to some people that's not that big a deal, but he knows it is a big deal. And if he lines them up wrong one time, he takes it hard on himself, and he wants to get it right every single time.
Hold himself accountable.
Yeah.
Gauge your off season traveling with D1 and playing the stuff and seeing athletes of 4- and 5-star caliber every week. How has that helped you at the quarterback position?
It's helped me a lot because, you know, all of them are like, they join together like a bunch of all-star teams out there. Especially playing like Cam Newton's team and all that. Them dudes are crazy. Travis Hunter and all that. And which a bunch of them were in that 7-on-7 tournament we went to in Hoover. And so, but yeah, it's helped me a lot because, you know, some of these schools ain't got as great as athletes and stuff.
That's right.
And yeah, it's just it's definitely different than that. I mean, I've got D linemen coming at me now, so
if you
that's
can
another thing.
If you can throw on Traycon Fagans, I'm sure you can get some ass out there.
Exactly.
I guess you got it right there. And Mr. Tyne, you won the UFC belt as a welterweight in off season to get tough for the middle linebacker. He fought Nurmagomedov. He beat him. Now, Coach, going into this week, tell me what you've seen so far on film out of these cats.
So Pell City, as far as defensively, like for me, they're going to be a lot more athletic, than the last couple of weeks that we faced. They're going to have some athletes that they kind of spread it out a little bit. They like to throw the ball a good bit. So I think I'm really excited because it's a new challenge. Last week it was, hey, can we stop the run? I think this week, hey, can we do a little of both? I think that, what I've been wanting to see is, can our secondary be challenged? And I want them to be challenged because I want to see if we're a complete defense. Like, I feel like we're good in the box. We can stop the run. But, can we stop the pass, and can, somebody tries to spread it out on us. So I'm excited to see how our kids compete against them with those type of athletes and spreading it out on us and see if we can, compete with them. And, defensively, their defensive coordinator was part of the same staff when we won the state championship at Oxford. So there's a DC at Pell City, Southside, Oxford, and Arab now, all from that same staff. And so the DC, I'm friends with him. I know him well. I talked to him, several times this week. We actually, some of us went and watched him play last Friday. So he does a really good job on defense with them. They fly around. They've got some athletes over there. So it's going to be a new challenge for us. It'll be somewhat similar to the style of football that Lincoln likes to play. So, we're not completely new to it, but it'll be a little bit different for us.
He's standing around the corner, Coach Neesmith, which is Gage's dad.
Yep.
What are the chances we see him having a nuclear meltdown on Friday? Like percentage-wise, if they start throwing the ball all over the place.
I'm 0. No. I'm sure that we're not gonna play a perfect game, and he.
I love how he gets intense though.
Coach Scoop is like, I feel like me and him, like, we're the two that will lose their mind on the sideline, and not necessarily at officials or anything. It's at the if we don't execute exactly like it's supposed to be done,
Oh yeah,
we get a little hot quick. But
Flipboards flying all over the place.
Oh man, it's hard for me to believe.
we should brought him in here to defend him.
Right. It's hard to believe though, because he seems a pretty just chill, laid-back guy.
He is until somebody
On the
breaks
football
down in the
field.
secondary. Then it's shut down.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. Good luck, you guys, moving forward. Great game last week, and we got the UFC champion here as well. Take it down and say, hey, by the way, and we are out.
All right, we're here with the Gadsden City Titans. We're going to let these guys introduce themselves, starting right over here.
I'm Isaiah Taylor. I'm a senior.
I'm Jacob Perry, a junior.
Jackson Beasley, a junior.
All right, guys, coming off a huge win over Fort Payne. It scores, 34-10 last week. Man, that was, I watched a little bit of that the game I was at while we was on the rain delay. And, man, y'all had another solid performance on offense and defense again. So far, y'all averaging 34 points a game and giving up an average of 5 points.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, pretty impressive through 2 games against 2 quality opponents. Talk to us about that game in last week from your standpoint on the defense side of the ball.
Defense, I think we played all right. We didn't play to the best ability that we can. We jumped outside, blew some assignments here and there, but still room to get better and to improve. But just cleaning up try to get some of the flags away and not jumping outside and doing what our coaches coach us to do, we'll be straight.
Yeah.
We did good, but it wasn't like our best performance. But a lot of penalties. Just going into next week, just fixing it and doing better.
All right. Well, you're a new guy in town. Talk to us about your experience at Gadsden City before we move on.
It's a lot different than where I was at. Practice is a lot harder. Working out's a lot harder. Just came here to get better.
And talk to us about the game Friday night.
Just to add on what Jackson said, we just missed a few assignments we could correct for this week coming up and get better for the season and all that, I feel like.
Yeah, I know Coach talked to y'all about playing at Fort Payne and all the penalties. They like to throw flags. And a little bit of the game that I did see while I was on the weather delay, was right before halftime, and Rodney had just ran that punt back to like the 13-yard line, and I was like, okay, they're gonna score right quick, before halftime, and it was just flag to keep pushing on back, and you ended up having to settle for a field goal. But you guys knew that going into that game, correct?
Correct.
All right. So this week you got open up region play. These are the games that count going forward. You want to make the playoffs. These are the games you got to win. You got a tough Oak Mountain team coming in. These guys have a new coach coming in with a new system. So you're gonna get a little bit different Oak Mountain. Talk to me about what you've seen from their offense on film so far.
From their offensive line, they would get into, they're not as much as nasty as Oxford O-line was, but they're very, very talented. I give them that. They're very good. From what I've seen, just from the day watching them, they block very well. I have to shoot my hands a lot on them. I put it like that.
All right. What do you see from the defense?
They're a lot more aggressive than our past week opponent. So we're gonna have to try a little harder. Take back on the penalties. Just get better.
They like to run that inside zone a lot, and the QB like to run around a lot. So we're trying to have to contain him for the most part. Keep it a short game.
Their quarterback is very talented.
Yeah, I remember
very
him.
shifty.
Oh, so are they still running the triple option, or are they just switched to
Nah,
They
run
switch the whole offense around. Yeah, they don't even cut no more than that. Like last year.
All right, because that triple option is something else. I shouldn't talk about the triple option. So like I said, this game this week right here starts a nice little run in the region play, and I know last year, I know you guys felt like this is one of those games y'all should have won last year. So I know this one. I know as a team, y'all guys are ready. What is Coach Smith's message to y'all this week going into starting region play?
Don't let up. Just keep doing what we're doing. Shock the city. Just keep doing what we're doing.
Shock the city.
I like it.
Learn from the coaches. Just listen to your coaches. Basically, trust the process. Trust the process.
Yeah.
Just keep grinding, getting better every day. Just don't quit. That's pretty much it.
Getting better with our assignments and everything, and taking it each day at a time so we can excel on Fridays.
I've been around you guys this year. I've noticed just the whole mentality of this team has been different. Seems like everybody's bought in, everybody's buying in, and they have bought in and the coaches are able to coach you guys, and everybody's taking it in. Talk to us about that change on this year's team compared to teams in the past.
I mean, for me, I think it's just the want to. Like, even if we having a bad day at the beginning, we'll clean it up because, we just want to be good. So if the coaches say something, we'll just get together and be like, hey, man, we got to pick this up, man. This ain't how the day going to end. We got to end it on good, And just when the coaches yell at somebody, don't yell at the person that yelled at, pick them up. Come on, you got it,
Right.
Just keep them in the head like, you got it. Don't worry about it. Let it go in one year after the other. You got it, Just, yeah.
I like you say that because we heard that last week too, and that just tells me that all you guys are focused on the same thing. You've all got the same goal. He said the same thing. We're not pointing fingers at this person. We're gonna pick him up.
Yeah.
And to play as a unit, you got to do that, guys. It's not about individuality. You guys this year, man, you look great. Like I said, some of these penalties and stuff, and that is expected. I think we said it was going to come. I've seen it happen to other schools. I've seen it. Those are all correctable mistakes at the end of the day. So, like you said, clean it up. Let's move on to region play, and let's move on to first region game.
I mean, you're already penciled in for 34 points. That's a good. So if the defense can do their part, we're going to do it. I'm joking, man. But that's the way to start a couple of statement games. And then like you're playing the Sisters of Mercy, either two really quality opponents.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that one's at home, one's on the road. So the same focus on the road as at home.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's Oak Mountain game is a big one though.
It is a big one. But we're not going. I was going to say next week, but we're not talking about this week. We're focused on this week. But you got anything else?
I think that's it, man. You guys just keep grinding. I mean, You got a great staff over there. Different mentality. Obviously, it seems their message seems to be a little more clear when you guys are winning. Everybody's like, okay, he is telling the truth.
Yeah.
So, but you got to rewind the clock 2 years ago when we were doing the Ollie Smith show at Chick-fil-A, and we were sitting there, and it was a loss and a loss and a loss and a loss, and it seemed like the message wasn't clear. And it's like, that gum. I remember Coach Ali looked at me and Reggie. He's like, don't give up on us.
Yep.
And we're like, bro, we ain't going nowhere. And he finally got that win right there. Last game of the year.
It was been the last game of the year, yeah.
Yeah, and then he was like, man, y'all just don't give up on us. I said, Coach, we ain't going nowhere. I said, we're here, homie. And now, look at you.
Yeah.
2-0 with 2 blowout wins.
We want to be part of the process, man.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
So look how much things has changed in these 2 years. So y'all just keep grinding, doing what you do, and good luck.